Ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Batista here, your host at the Prosperity Channel. We are on our final segment on this day of the end of May, May 30, 2026. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are really on a roll. You cannot imagine the thousands, if not millions, of viewers in Europe, in Southeast Asia, and even in our friends in Africa, who are just waiting for this very, very important segment of our show, the Prosperity Channel with Gavin Batista, your host. I deliberately did this to exemplify my burgundy tie. It's called the American tie, you know, because there's so many ties in other parts of the world, especially in Great Britain, but this is the American tie, and the way you put it, the way you pin it, it's all a symbol of the burgundy look, with respect to the honorable gentleman from Spain, from Madrid, from Barcelona, the favorite son of Spain, none other than the real honorable Andy Soriano III. He is so much missed in the Philippines and other parts of the world, and it is only but inevitable for your comeback, Senor Andres Soriano III. Burgundy is his color, and I am doing this show with respect to him, because it is very, very clear that it is only but inevitable that there will be finally a San Miguel Corporation Andres Soriano version. Because even in America needs Andy Soriano. In the Philippines, he is irreplaceable, you know. And look at the Philippines right now. It is sinking by the second. By the second. And so I'd like to move forward quickly with respect to the US economy. The US economy will boom because of the Fed chairman. We had a bad Fed chairman. We now have a great, not a good, but a great Fed chairman. So I'd like to be very clear, because before we lose the money again, you know, we're getting back our monies again, ladies and gentlemen. America, we will get back our monies again, because we have a great Fed chairman. It all starts there. New policies, new programs, strong fundamentals, the economy will boom. Once the economy will boom, you will prosper. And this is sustainable, not the Bernanke economics, where his fake policies will make you poor. Okay? So this is the basic proposal before the Chinese will copy us again. It starts with the individuum. What is the individuum? Every single individual has his own talents. Maybe one talent, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd like to repeat. The individuum is a term that explains that every individual is different. as you grow to a human being, which we call in America as an adolescent, you are going to develop further talents that will make you the number one individual, number one person. For a lack of a better term, the precise term is individual for that given industry. Or it might be a new industry, like the medical hotel, which I'm number one. You develop through the years, from being a baby to a teenager to an adolescent. And that's where you make a ton of money. Okay. Now, that is the basis of our US economy. And I'm telling you right now, we are doing this on all industries, even the new industries. That's why I believe strongly that the growth of AI is just in its infancy stage. So what is the value of NVIDIA right now? It's about $200+. That's nothing. Nothing. Why? Because it's just starting. Just like what happened in the internet, everybody then thought it was a joke. And I would not like to amplify on that particular issue because I'm going to get into deep trouble. But take my word for it, the internet as the start was nothing. Just like what they're doing right now with AI. My prediction about AI is that AI will make your life easier. AI is the reason why America will become number one. Because efficiencies will be perfect and you can really project better your given net profits, which will ultimately equate to our gross national product. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to now submit the formulas for growth for each and every individual, for each and every business entity, and ultimately it will be the collective effort which we call as gross national product. And the key here is speed, efficiency, professionalism, and advice to each and every individual. And therefore, I'd like to be very clear. Only certain people can achieve what they want in the US economy. Because some, to begin with, are evil, are bad, are criminal. Sad to say, that is how stupid the American immigration is all about. Because it is corrupted in the US Embassy. And I can give you multiple examples that happened to me in the Philippine Embassy. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to be very clear. If the individuals, before they call it microeconomics, which is really bullshit right now, it's nonsense. It's inefficient. It is slow. It will only create anxiety, and before you know it, violence. Because what? I'm not making my money right now, Gavin. I thought, yeah. And I have been in that stage, ladies and gentlemen. Ang sabi nga sa Filipino, as they say in the Philippine vernacular, akala ko naman yayaman ako dyan sa sinasabi mo I thought, Gavin, that your formula will work. And I don't want to get in that situation because it will end up in a lawsuit. So, if you follow this step by step, you get to what number you want. And when everybody is doing that, what happens? The gross national product will increase by 5.6% all the way to 5.85%, based on each and every analysis, basic fundamental econometrics, and the most important, my new formulas. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, I bumped into the surrogate, or himself, the great, Mario Draghi of Italy, who is still the #1 central bank governor in Europe. If they follow Draghi, Europe will not be in this mess. In fact, my fearless statement is Draghi and Putin would have talked and said, Vladimir, you don't have to attack Ukraine. I know the Russian economy very well. You do not have to attack Ukraine. But guess what happened? Draghi got pissed off. Mario Draghi, the great European Central Bank governor, he resigned as Prime Minister of Italy, and look at the result. Oh my God, it is so bad that, in my opinion, it's the worst situation ever since World War II. All because of that situation. Draghi gets pissed off because the Italian government did not approve his economic policies. Just like what I did to Bernanke. Just like what the late Jaime Pen wanted to do with the Philippine economy, but he got rejected. What happened? He committed suicide. So this is very serious. Harvard superstar Jaime Pen committed suicide. Why? Congress said, no, we don't need you, Jaime Pen. So who comes now? His brother, the great Roberto Ongpin. Harvard superstar again. And so there's so many clashes in the new economic policies. And I don't want to say this, but the truth of the matter is I was in that situation where, I thought you were going to do this. I said, I'm not authorized. I wanted to, but I can only do so much. And that's why this elections with candidate Spencer Pratt is so crucial for the Golden State, for Los Angeles, for the world. Because Los Angeles is still the center of entertainment, the center of new blood of economic superstars, entrepreneurs, actresses, and the list goes on. It's in Los Angeles. I was there. 1994, 1993. Booming with excellence. Look at it now. They're saying, Karen Bass is saying to Spencer Pratt, you can't even balance a budget. What a joke. But I'm not putting you on the spot, Mayor Bass, but isn't the question should be, can you solve the Los Angeles economy? Can you make the Los Angeles economy achieve a surplus economy, which is being done right now here by the great Mayor David Holt of Oklahoma City? The question should be, can you make Los Angeles, for me, the greatest city in the world, because it's so open, it's so American, it's so democratic filled. Democracy is no longer in Greece, it's in Los Angeles. You can do whatever you want to do as long as it's legal, baby. That's America. And we lost it under the leadership of Mayor Bass. Because Mayor Bass is, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of her, because she speaks so well. She is so accurate with policies, but the problem with her is she cannot translate it into reality. Is it a big deal, Mayor, when a citizen by the name of Spencer Pratt will knock on your door and say, Mayor, I've got a problem. I lost my house. Can you help me? Is that too much to ask? When all you got to do is talk to the CEO of State Farm, can you do something with this person by the name of Spencer Pratt, who has paid his property taxes, income taxes, for the last so many years? Of course, I know if what is that? Basketball superstar Magic Johnson would call you up tomorrow morning, I think it would have been done. What Los Angeles needs right now from the council members to the police force is a question of statesmanship, a question of being an American statesman. And you don't have to be a president like Ronald Reagan as we speak. You can do it on your own job as mayor, as a police chief, as a council member of the greatest city in the world. Is that too much to ask? But they play around with words. You know how it is with politicians. We in the business sector only achieve on, focus on one thing. We only focus on one thing. And what is that? Did you achieve the objective? Ladies and gentlemen, in life, ultimately, that's what matters the most. Let's cut the bull. Did you achieve the objective? What is the objective? He lost his house. It was an arson case. Why? Because of who? Probably Bertiglabra again. Oh yeah, that's a loaded statement. Okay, so be it. He lost his house. Okay, forget about Spencer Pratt right now. 7,000 homes lost their houses. Only, I think, 3 have been rebuilt. Is it too much to ask to call up the CEO of State Farm or whatever CEO right now, Geico, etc.? Hey, what? I'm the mayor of Los Angeles. These guys lost their houses. Let's do a quasi-loan program because I'm a realtor. Something new to fast-track the building of their homes. What happens? There will be a temporary deficit, budget deficit. But with the collective effort of these professionals, high caliber, for a lack of a better term, meaning to say these are the creme de la creme of the world who can make Los Angeles great again. I love LA. I love the restaurants there. I love the action. Is that too much to ask, Mayor Bass? And so I propose this to fellow Angelinos. Support Mayor Spencer Pratt. He will not only make Los Angeles great again, but he will make America great again, because he will be the model city of the great Golden State. And everybody's now copying this engineering model I'm doing right now. Everybody in the world who has a brain. Even the Chinese love me. They always want to hear from me. Oh my God, Gavin, can you talk some more? Because the more you talk, the more we make money. The more my family finally is getting some money back again because of your wisdom, Gavin. And we can do it in Cuba. They were saying, it was a dictator, Batista. Fulgencio Batista. Bad dictator. Okay, bad dictator. Fine, okay. Look at Cuba now. You need a strong man to make things happen. It's not a question of dictatorship. Come on, America. Put some sophistication in your brains. And that's why we need to vote, support Spencer Pratt as the next great mayor of the city of Angelinos. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to end with this. You know, the new flavor of America is non-stop bickering, talking, and apologizing. The only way we can change that overnight is to do two things. Listen to the Prosperity Channel. Support the leaders that are obviously in your favor. And it will happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen. Or else I'll be out of here. I'll close this station. But I know I am smart enough that I know you Americans need a broadcasting station to help you. Not the style of the MSNBC Ledesma user station. Well, remember this, California. In 2008, we were knocking on the doors of Antonio Villaragosa. What did he do? Nothing. We were knocking and knocking and knocking on the doors of Ben Bernanke and Hank Paulson. What did they do? Nothing. It's very clear. Now is that moment, ladies and gentlemen. Now is that very moment. It's a make or break. It's Spencer Pratt, or you go to hell with Karen Bass. You go to hell with Karen Bass. I'd like to be very clear on that. With Spencer Pratt on board, we have a chance to regain back our homes with new, better loan programs. Not the ninja loans, but the Gavinization loans that will make your family great again. Thank you, and I'll make sure this state will not be robbed by the Chinese. It will be on YouTube, thanks to Google, thanks to Larry Page and Sergey Brin, because they are going to destroy this tape again. No way. No way, baby. No way, Jose El Angeles. The criminals of the Philippines. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hit me with a like and subscribe at the Gavin Batista at the Prosperity Channel 91 to make America great again and to make your family prosperous again.